Welcome to Blue Collar Crypto with Tim Terosian. We are here every Sunday night at 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Central to find out all the latest and greatest of what is happening in the world of Tim and Blue Collar Crypto. I know we'll be joined soon also by Neil Weber, but I'm going to go ahead and pass the torch over to Tim as he is here and ready to go. And he's coming in from a distance here too. So Tim, so glad to have you here tonight. How are you?
Hi, Sue. Well, as Sue's mentioned, my co-host Neil has a subject we're going to attempt to to deep dive into. What are we saying? Deep dive. Go deeper into the issues of employment with a specific group, being disabled people that get a government check, but boy, it's very hard to exist on what the government gives you. So we have a hybrid. Let's call it a hybrid income. The government gives you something. It's possible to live on it, but it takes a lot of work. So you want something on the side. So here we are back where we started, side gigs. With this case, a side gigs for the disabled government check people that are getting a fixed income. And Neil hopefully will join us in a minute, and we'll continue this line of inquiry and inquiry leading to presentation, leading to discussing this and perhaps getting to some solutions where, for example, let's use myself, if I can use myself as an example. I live in a building where we're all on fixed incomes, the entire building. And it takes a couple of weeks out of the checks that we get only last really about a couple of weeks. So I know a lot of you are saying, well, yeah, I work for a living and my check doesn't go far enough. But this is a specific problem with people that get $1,000 a month to live on, and they can't make it on 1,000. But here's a way we're going to present. Here's the way we're going to present to make your government check go further. It's a broad and very promising and far-reaching promise we're making here, but here's the way we're going to present this. We're going to find it. Give us some patience here. We're going to give you a way to make your government check go further. So my co-host Neil Weber is going to join me in this. I'm not sure what time he's going to get here, but Neil Weber. My name is Tim Terosian. This is the subject of the show. Make your government check go further. And in this case, disabled people that get a check, of course, there are millions and millions. 5% of our population gets a disability check from Social Security. And we're not exactly telling you that you should get off of your government check because it's extremely difficult to find work if you're on disability. And there are income limitations to how much money you can make if you get a government check. Otherwise, they will remove you from the government check. So, although the government we have is a friendly government, how boring can this get, right? But these people, 5% of our population is suffering in a way that they can't really participate in the economy like we would like they would like to participate. It affects their health, right? $1,000 does not pay for healthy food, right? For in a month, after you pay for rent and so forth. So food pantries only go so far. So how can we get people with a limited income to live like regular people with regular incomes? It's a very, very very it's a very God, sorry. It's a very large and long goal, and maybe the government will figure this out. I have faith in our government servants, um, that we pay them for a job to do. How can we get them to provide income for people? How can people make their own income with the limitations and restrictions on income levels that the government places on them? So it's kind of a catch-22, but your income is reduced. The government provides this income for free. How do we get people to change this? Take the paradigm and work with it. Work with it, not against it, so they can keep their government benefits and still get extra income. So we're trying to, reach Neil right now so he can join us. Do we have any help with that? Is anybody, Sue or anybody, is he coming on?
Yeah, he is coming on. He just asked for the meeting ID. So again, we're gonna have Neil Weber hopping on here. He's hopping on in a minute. Or oh, we have Robert Petrozzulo is also going to join in and give his acknowledgement of Neil's story of I was saying grandfather earlier, it might be Neil's father actually. So in any case, Neil's got stories of his family to tell, and he's very proud to share it. And he's had hopes of writing a book about it all, and so on and so forth. So this should be coming together here momentarily. Again, you're listening to the Blue Collar Crypto Show by Tim Terosian, and partnered up with Neil Weber to make it all happen. So and then our friend Robert Petrozzulo from out in Ohio. Will be
Okay, well, I'd like to follow up. Uh, yeah, sure. And what I'm really interested in, and maybe Neil could add on to this. My concerns here is that we do case management. We actually provide results for people. That we may be voluntary, but once you agree to join us, we can start increasing your income, and that's my hope here. That we have a program. We need to have a program where people are under case management, much like the government does, but one by one helping people. Robert Petrozzulo, are you with us?
That is me.
Hi. Hey, what part of this
I can barely.
conversation are you interested in?
Well, Kurt
Where,
Rosbach.
are you an author of a nonprofit? How did you get interested in this?
Well, no. First of all, I can't see your screen. Kurt Rosbach wanted me to get on here, so I don't know what's going on here. He wanted me to hop on. He said in 5 minutes, so he's gonna be on for 5 more minutes. So
Okay. I know Neil might be joining us, Neil Weber, and then
okay.
Kurt can join us too.
I don't
If he
even.
wants.
It's a black screen. Why is it like that?
Well, mine is black because my Zoom isn't, my video is not working right, and I'm
Okay. What's your name now?
Tim. I
Tim,
talked to you last week.
Okay.
I know I'm not sure what the subject was, but would you like to use yourself as an example, or how would you like to? Do you know the subject here? Maybe we're talking about people on disability benefits who would like to earn more money.
That fits me perfectly, Tim, because I am disabled. I don't know if you know that, but
Okay.
yeah, I am. So, yeah.
Oh, good. It's a slow discussion. I'm not trying to reach some broad answers here, or to me, you're an example, but you're also an expert because you're living the life that I'm trying to describe.
Correct.
So is there something you'd like to, how is it for you? Can you earn a certain amount per month? How does that work?
Are you talking about what I'm involved in, or what are you talking about? I'm confused.
On a personal level, I'm talking about people that get disability benefits, and I'm not trying to make an example, but I'm in terms of is there an income limitation for what you do outside of your do you get benefits, first of all? Second of all, yeah.
Second
Yes.
off, go ahead.
Second off, do you find ways to make extra income every month?
I find ways to make extra income, yes, and not really every month. So I'm actually involved in a couple things, Tim. So I am. Is this just starting or is it ending now? Just curious.
We've been into this for about 10 minutes. I've been talking by myself.
Oh, okay.
And I'm also supposed to have another host on here, but he hasn't.
All right. So yeah, to answer your question, the business opportunity that I'm involved in, I'm gonna make money in a couple months starting, and I can talk to you about that whenever you're ready. But to answer your question, do I make money right now? No, I do not. All I get is disability benefits, SSI, Social Security income. So, and I'm 38 years old. So, yeah. So I think I'm the perfect example of what you're looking for, Tim.
Yeah, and this is a beginning. This isn't. I'm trying to find some answers so that we can help more people. I have the show. I have the show every week. This show is called Blue Collar Crypto.
Correct.
So it's for people in blue collar, but it's also helping people with disabilities. It's a very broad show. It has a very broad focus to it. So I include those people.
Okay, I appreciate that, Tim. Thank you. You're giving me a voice to speak on. I love it. Does this go live?
Well, I'm going to.
Just curious.
Of course,
Sorry.
I'm going to stay with this every week. Because I too, I don't get a check, but everybody in my building does. I live in a senior building, and everybody gets limited fixed incomes. So, I'm I'm a helper. I have a helper personality.
Yep.
Much like a lot of people on this show that are associated with it. And my goal is to find income opportunities for people such as you, Robert, and then hopefully Neil will come on and he'll share with us some of his ideas, which he always does very well. He fits in very well with this show that I do.
So can I ask you a question? So I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I ask you a question, Tim?
Yeah, please.
So can I tell you the business opportunity that I'm involved in, and maybe you guys can be like put it in your portfolio, if you will?
Well, why not? This is why we're here, really.
Yep. Is this call being recorded or no?
I'm not sure. I think it is.
Let me see.
It usually is.
No, it's not. I'm looking at the name here. It's not being recorded.
Okay. If you want that,
Be in the YouTube archives.
Who's got the stand?
Welcome, Neil. How you doing, sir?
Kurt, I was talking to Neil. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Doing good. Kurt asked you that. Kurt, he's asking how you're doing.
Yeah, so Neil, we're all doing good. We got a big conversation going with Tim, Robert, myself, and so we dove right into the idea of disability benefits and making plans to become independent from income source for building independence from needing the disability benefits. So Neil, you want to dive in and hear your thoughts you prepared
Yes.
for?
Correct. My understanding is that only 1% of Americans on disability ever achieve independence from disability. And that's just a hard known fact. That was done by a study called Pathways for Independence. And that was done at the Grand Avenue Club in 1991, which is a local nonprofit that serves the mentally ill. So it is very rare for a person to go off benefits. Most times when a person is on benefits, they're on benefits for a lifetime. Unfortunately, for the average member of the Grand Avenue Club, they are dying 10 to 15 years younger than the average population. And that is due to an unhealthy lifestyle. And that lifestyle is caused by a dependence on a welfare state. And I call it welfare because it is welfare. A welfare state which says, we will give you food, clothing, and shelter, and, give you a roof over your head. We will give you meals for your body. We will give you clothing for your back. I believe that's a very unhealthy system, and I don't believe it should be designed that way. If I were in Congress, I would design it differently. I would design a system which says, in exchange for this, food, clothing, and shelter, we accept something from you, either 20 hours of work a week if you're able, or some type of volunteer work, some way of giving back to the system. And what I have done my whole adult career, when I'm able, is to give back to the system. I'm currently volunteering at the Grand Avenue Club about 16 hours a week, and I give back. I take 2 buses to get there, and that's very challenging because it's cold standing out in the in the cold. I do have a car, but unfortunately it's in storage right now because of some personal issues. But I am busing down to the Grand Avenue Club, and what I do is I volunteer in the kitchen, and I help prepare meals. And I also sweep and mop and do other chores that are very menial, but very humble and help me prepare myself for a full-time work. I was working full-time from 1982 to 2003. Unfortunately, the disability caused by my mental illness prevented me from continuing on there. From 2003 until the present day, I've been relying on disability, and I don't find that to be a healthy lifestyle. I find it a lifestyle that gives everything to you and asks nothing in return. And I don't believe that is the spirit of the American character. The spirit of the American character is, we create you for independence. We create you to be great. Saint Irenaeus, who was an early martyr, said that God created man to glorify God, to represent the glory of God. And that's what I think man is called to be representative of the glory of God. And I don't believe a person on disability is able to achieve that because of the limitations that, obviously you enter into it in full agreement, but I don't believe that the average member, the average worker, the average recipient is not able to achieve that. So my vision is to exit disability. It's been my decision since going on disability, and I'm currently getting close to a position. I may be up to as few as 6 months away from that possibility. I am having some memory challenges right now, but I've got a spiritual program that will be designed to help me in that area, and I'm hopeful that I can recover my memory so that I will be able to work full time. I have sufficient memory to work full time, or work part time at this time. So my goal is obviously is financial independence and financial wealth. And my vision for me, and that is what I've developed recently, is a vision for myself. And that vision offers spiritual, physical, intellectual, emotional, and financial independence. And I want to achieve prosperity through independence. I have been poor for many years. I want to be prosperous. And so my goal is prosperity. Obviously, I have limitations. We all have the limitations. Clint Eastwood said in a movie called Magnum Force, he says, a man's got to know his limitations. And that's very true. We have to know our limitations. None of us are gods. We have to know our limitations. So we have to do that. I don't know I'm called to work 90 hours a week and make, $1 million a year. I don't think that I'd be happy doing that. So I think that I got a 40-hour work week would be possible, and I'd like to do that. So what I'm pursuing at this point is volunteering at the Grand Avenue Club in the mornings from 8:30 to about noon, and then going to work at the Foley & Lardner law firm as a resupply clerk for Foley & Lardner, in which I would be resupplying offices with all their material needs for everything from paper goods to staplers, and doing that. And that's what I would do between now, well, as soon as I start the job, which I've not actually officially gotten yet, but it's been offered to me in principle. I just have to go through the motions with the hiring manager at Foley. Grand Avenue Club actually controls the job, and they offer it to members, which I haven't offered it, but I have to go through the hoops of actually getting the position offered to me from Foley Lardner. So my goal is the next 6 months to do that. After I've been there 6 months, my goal is to exit disability if it's in God's plan, and I do try to do everything in God's plan. So I am obedient to God, and if that means staying on disability, I will, but it's not my desire to do that. It's my desire to get off benefits and live a free, independent life like I used to from 1982 until 2003. I have done many things while on disability. I have raised $5,000 for the Grand Avenue Club. I have served on the board of directors for 3 years. I have published 2 articles for publication in a nationally distributed textbook called Vision for Participation, A Pathway for Independence, or something like that. And I have done many things at the unit level at the Grand Avenue Club, in which I have served at the Grand Avenue Club very meaningfully. One thing I was doing was I was serving the Grand Avenue Club. I was getting letters written for fundraising for the organization. And one time I was doing this, and I was distributing letters and asking other members to sign it because they didn't have sufficient work. There wasn't sufficient work for them to do. So I was asking members to sign my name and do that. And that was most rewarding for them and myself. And one time they said to me, Neil, you've got to sign the letters. You got to make sure you sign the letters. I said, Nikki, who was a staff member at the time, I said to her, I signed up to do the letters. Yes, I did. I also signed to clean the toilets. If I don't sign the letters, they will sit and be fine. But if I don't clean the toilets, they're going to stink. So that's the philosophy of work. That we follow the work order day at the Grand Avenue Club, which is similar to any organization that has work. If, we have a meeting every morning at 9, which is called the Daily Huddle. We plan out the day. Basically, at that time, we just plan out the specific larger goals for the day. For example, what each unit is going to be doing. And then we meet in the units themselves. And we plan out specific tasks. Everything from feeding the gopher who relies on us to feed him, to vacuuming the floor, to straightening the table, to filling out forms for fundraising grants. The kitchen serves 2 meals a day, breakfast and lunch, and a dinner on Wednesday nights. And these are nutritionist, well-planned meals done by an executive chef who used to work in top area restaurants around the country. And these are done, but nothing can be done without the cooperation of the members. No work happens without the cooperation of the members. There is not sufficient staff to get all the work done. It's called the thin blue line. And so I believe that the philosophy of the Grand Avenue Club is member engagement. And member engagement means that we need to engage the members of the work of the day. And that's why I believe that members should be encouraged, even a little pushed, to make plans to exit disability if they're able. Member was offered recently a position at Foley and Lardner full-time, and he declined it. I think that was a mistake. If he's able, this gentleman's name's Cornell, and he's able to work part-time, what prevents him from working full-time? Now, it's possible that he doesn't have the mental health capacity to do that, and that it would be unwise, imprudent to do that. And yet, I believe that I am capable of working full-time. I have worked 16-hour days, 12 to 12, 6 to 6. So, and then till 9 p.m. I've worked at for a number of years when I was working at I was working at a local firm that cleaned floors, a Happy Day Carpet Care. They cleaned floors, and they also did flood repair. And one day I worked a 24-hour day. I worked from 4 in the afternoon. 4 in the afternoon. Well, see, it was a 6:30 in the morning start till 4 in the morning. So We had a flood repair. We had 12 inches of rain that day, and I had to work that day. I was exhausted at the end of the day, but for the first time and only time in my employment there, I was able to collect overtime for that week, and I was very blessed by that. So that's basically a little bit about my philosophy. Are there any questions?
Well, I don't know, Robert, are you here?
I am here. Wow, what a story. What a story. So yes, I do have some key points I want to say to you about this. Neil. That's a wonderful story. I commend you, brother, for doing what you're trying to do. So I wanted to let you know, everyone on this call, that I'm also disabled, and I collect Social Security, and I feel in my heart that I don't think I can work that much or actually at all, because I want to be an entrepreneur in my life, and I've had these work experiences in the past, and I've had horrible anxiety, if you will, like to the point where I cried on the job. And I used to work at Walmart as a door greeter. I used to work at other local places here, just sweeping, mopping, cleaning, and I just did not like it. So, but I commend you, brother. Keep up the good work, and that's all I really have to say. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I appreciate that many individuals on disability have anxiety, and they struggle a lot with this anxiety, and that impacts them and impairs their ability to work. So I appreciate that concern with you, Rob, and I have compassion for you. I have suffered as well, not from anxiety, but from struggles in other areas of my life. And I appreciate what it means to suffer. And I was divorced 23 years ago, and it caused a lot of pain in my life. And I appreciate when people suffer, and I have great empathy for people who suffer. And I need to increase my empathy for the mentally ill and people on disability, because I lack that right now in my life. And so your story helps me gain independence, not independence, I'm sorry, but gain empathy for people like yourself. I think there is a saying that proximity breeds empathy. And I think the more I can spend time volunteering my time at the Grand Avenue Club, the more empathy I will have for members of the Grand Avenue Club, and therefore the mentally ill in general.
You're right about that, Neil. Now let me also tell you something else. So I just had this discussion today with some people in my house, family members. I'm actually getting a facility where I'm going to be able to use a space, and I don't think Kurt or anybody else knows this, but they're going to know it now, where I'm going to have a facility to file, wash, and spray paint my pop tabs. And someone is going to make they're going to make pop tab bracelets for me. So I'm really, really excited about that. So, and I'm also going to be...
Wait, you'll be able to what? File, watch, and what else? I'm sorry?
So file, wash, like wash them in water, and spray paint pop tabs.
Wow.
Yep.
And why will you do that? Why will you do that?
So people are gonna excuse me. This organization that I'm teamed up with, they're gonna provide the building for me, and they're gonna make pop tab bracelets for me, and maybe necklaces and some other products. So that's another thing I'm focused on. Yep.
Good. So I'm sorry, pop tabs? Is that what you said, or hubcaps?
POPTABS.
POPTABS. Pop tabs. Okay.
Yep. So Kurt, what's wrong, like, what kind of disability do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Cognitive. So I struggle with cognitive disability. Correct.
I didn't know. Okay, so like you can't comprehend very well.
I do comprehend well, but at the initial outset of my addiction, I struggle. Of my mental illness, I struggle with that.
I know, but I'm confused here. See, this is part of my disability. I don't comprehend very well. So, could you help
I'm sorry, what was that?
I don't comprehend very well. Is there any way you can like dummy it down for me? Like, what's wrong with you? Just curious.
Yes, yes. I suffer from bipolar mood disorder,
Okay,
so I
bipolar.
have a wide range. Yes, I have a wide range of moods.
Gotcha. I understand that now. Okay. Gotcha. Are you on medication for it, Neil?
Yes, I take some medication for it.
Okay. Yep. Cool. All right. Well, this was very inspirational for me. So yes, those are all the questions that I have, Neil. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Tim,
Well,
thank you for hosting this.
are you enjoying this, Robert?
I am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And it was, and I think Kurt Roscoff had something to do with getting this all together. I think this is Neil's show today. And I think we have a long road to go, but there are some answers out there. I know there are, and I know there's a lot of suffering. Suffering of the mind and the soul. A lot of us don't believe that there is such a thing as disability, but there is a place in our society. There is, I believe, and I think we're working on it. Somebody might take 5-10 years and never get off of their disability check, but the end result is their lives are improved. The 1% of us that make it off of disability, I think that number is it's too low. It's just, that number is accurate. And I have to make a moral and ethical judgment. I don't think everybody is going to get off their checks. But I think 1% is not where it should be. We do have a lot of nonprofits in this area, and I don't know why they're not as effective as we wish them to be, to help people on disability. I think the dietary problems are pervasive. People that don't get enough income to purchase healthy foods is a terrible tragedy. If I could say more, I would say it next week, and we have another show. Neil, you have some more. You want to close this out?
Yeah, this is the Blue Collar Crypto Show, and we're signing off with Emily Gallmer, Kurt Roscoff, Tim, and myself.
Yeah, and we
Amen.
got Robert Petrozzulo and Sue Roscoff helped with some of the productions. And Neil, I presume we're going to have you back at 5:30 to be done by 5:45 to be on your other call. And Tim, you were talking about next week, so are you signing off for the day? And Neil will handle the 5:30 slot. Is that?
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
more, but please, Neil. And then I'm in Lithuania. I don't know if you've heard of this country, but I'm standing in a garage because I don't want to wake everybody up. But I'm in the Eastern Europe, and Zoom works just fine, I guess, as you can tell, in Eastern Europe.
I'm sorry, Tim. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was really glad to meet up with you guys. It gets me, because I'm on this vacation. It's nice to keep my any other shows you want me to do in the next couple of days, just shoot me a Zoom link, Kurt. So
I've heard of Lithuania too. Sorry about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in Chicago, and I took 3 planes to get here. And I get to see family. My brother and his kids, and
Beautiful.
so live from Lithuania and Milwaukee and Madison. Go ahead. Signing off.
Ohio.
Ohio. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
That's me. I'm in Ohio. Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks.
See you then, Tim.
See you then.
There you go. What a great show. We pulled it together. We have Emily Gomer is AWOL, absent without leave. She's MIA, missing in some sort of action or inaction. So I don't know what's going on with Emily, but we put out the flares for her, tried to hail her down. I don't think she believed we were gonna have a show today. I don't know what's going on or something's up on her end. She was on Zoom a couple hours ago. She abruptly disconnected and we haven't heard from her since. So we'll see what happens with her in 1 hour. And I do want to recognize our friend out of Denver, Colorado, Zach Clayton. Zach Clayton is running a Heroes event this coming Saturday. He'll be running some recordings and having meetings all week long to culminate into a 22-hour live stream on Saturday with the PAC channel. That's PACT, and PACT comes from the program ACT, ACT, all come together. So this is a podcast all coming together, and this one on Saturdays for our heroes, inspired out of the statistic that we lose 22 veterans a day. Now, that's a 22-year-old statistic. A lot of people believe it's more double that, more like double, like 44 vets a day, really. But the Veteran Affairs doesn't acknowledge what the rest of the veterans community believes is the issue today. But we're going to be addressing all of that on Saturday, and we're going to be recognizing all heroes. So veterans, first responders, law enforcement, teachers, and we keep going from there. So again, 22 hours on Saturday. Stay tuned. If you want to be a part of the show and if you want to do some recordings with Community Pay It Forward, check it out at communitypayitforward.us. Communitypayitforward.us. Go ahead and reach out and get all the information there, and Google or go on YouTube and look for the PAC channel, PACT, PAC channel. And they have their impact fundraising channel and all sorts of other stuff. You can go ahead and search on YouTube, Community Pay It Forward, and make sure it's the one out of Greeley, Colorado. And so there we go. We're trying to keep the good deeds going. So bye for now, everybody. We'll see you in 1 hour for the 5:30 show starring Neil.